Good morning, everybody. It's Friday morning. Hope you're in for a great day and a fantastic weekend. We've been considering in Mark chapter 12 the 5 loves that Jesus spoke about, and we've looked at loving the Lord your God. We're talking about loving Him with all your heart, and then your soul, your mind, your strength, and then loving your neighbor as yourself. We're into this thing about talking about the all factor of loving the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, your mind. Now, the all thing is an important thing, because God is not a God of the half-hearted. He has a way of hiding Himself from the casual looker. He wants all of us. He will not play second fiddle. And we're on a journey in our spiritual lives to giving God more of who we are. We said a couple of days ago that the heart is deceitful above all things. As much as it is beautiful and can be a glorious thing, it's also got a dark side to it. It can also be deceitful. So you've got to be careful when you start to say, let your heart lead you, because it could lead you to where you don't want to go. We've been talking about the fact that you can tell a lot about a person by the words that come out of their mouths. Your words are a reflection of what's going on in your heart. We've spoken too about the fact that where your treasure is, there your heart is as well. So you can sit and ponder those things this week. But here's an interesting thought. In Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse 1, we have Solomon saying, I said to my heart. This guy's having a conversation with his heart. I said to my heart, let's talk together. And I wondered what a good conversation in your heart should look like or sound like. And I began to think that this is more and more about the legitimacy of what real worship is all about. Because real worship, if it doesn't come from the heart, means nothing, less than nothing. And so when our heart speaks and we speak to our heart, that's a great place for us to talk about what real worship looks like. Now, I'm intrigued because of the importance of this conversation that you have with your heart. What are you telling your heart when you have a conversation with it? Well, I think there's two things. I think, first of all, we're telling our hearts how great God is. This is one of the aspects of worship, where in our hearts we're declaring the greatness of who He is, His power, His love, His grace, His goodness. And we just tell ourselves about the wonder of the God who is ours. I want to suggest to you a practical thing. Play some worship music. Play some worship music of a style that is meaningful to you, and watch what happens to your heart as these words express the amazingness of who God is, the hugeness of this God who is ours. Something stirs in your heart that is the beginning and the foundation of what worship is all about. It's a thing that happens by way of a conversation in your heart. Go ahead, play some worship music, sing along. Even if you can't sing, and join in the words of people declaring the greatness of God, and watch what that conversation does to your spirit. It has an enormous impact. It's called renewing your heart. You see, our hearts get drained during the course of the week. Things happen that hammer us, and sometimes good things happen and sometimes bad things happen. But there are times where we need to renew our hearts by having a decent conversation about who God is. I guess this is a lot about what the Sabbath is about. You can take 6 days of being hammered and working really hard, but there's a place of renewal. And the Sabbath is that place. A Sabbath, if it doesn't have worship in it, it is just another day off. It's got to incorporate worship, where we declare in our hearts the greatness of who God is. Then I'd like to suggest to you too this, that not only do you declare in worship and in this conversation in your heart about how great God is, but tell yourself how special you are to God. Because, it says, love the Lord your God as you love yourself. I don't think you can love yourself until you can love God until you really know what it means to love yourself. Now, I know what thoughts are going through your minds about self-love and the raising up of self and pride and all those issues. I'm not talking about that. That's a corruption of this beautiful value. But you today tell yourself how special you are to God. how significant and special He is to you, but how significant and special you are simply because God loves you. Listen, people, the whole Bible is God's love story to you. Personalize that and say, this is God's love story to me. I was the one who messed up in Eden, and God pursued me all down through the ages with the prophets and the kings and all those amazing things, until ultimately Jesus came and declared, how special I am, as He hung upon that cross. And when you get a picture of how big God is and how awesome He is and how special you are to God, you're entering into a great place of worship. And it happens when you have this conversation with yourself in your heart. It's a great conversation to have. I want you to listen to a beautiful song that I've asked Shelley to sing. And it's a song that is popular to many. It talks about believing how significant you are. And I hope that this will be a blessing to you as we close out our week. Go and have that moment, have that conversation with God, and have a great weekend. We'll see you all on Monday. Thanks, guys. Bye.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Just the sum of every high and every low. Remind me once again just who I am, 'cause I need to know. You say I am loved when I don't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short. When I don't belong, you say that I'm yours. I believe, oh I believe what you say of me. The only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. Taking all I have, and now I'm laying it at your feet. You have every failure, God. You have every victory. You say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say that I'm strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short. When I don't belong, you say that I'm yours. I believe, oh I believe what you say of me.